means going bravely forward, and chutzpah means pushing the boundaries. They came on a royal promise. But there arose a king who knew not Joseph. 400 years of oppression, born in bondage, reared in chains, their men humiliated, their women defiled, their children tossed into the Nile. But yet, they bore their lethal, loathsome loads, challenged to make bricks without straw. Taskmasters arose, abusive and misusing, hostile taskmasters. Taskmasters that required them to work in the sweltering heat and under the blistering sun. Taskmasters who beat their broken, bare, bleeding backs. Whipping them, and the more they were afflicted, the more they multiplied.
Let my people go!
So God sent plagues, hail, lice, frogs. He sent the death angel, the last plague. But even in death, God provided for the Israelites, telling them to take the blood of an unblemished lamb and to put it over the doorpost. And covered by the blood, they would be delivered. But Pharaoh's house had no such exemption. His son was at grave risk of the death angel. And so, subtly and stealthily, intimidatingly, the death angel approaches Pharaoh's house. Daringly, pulling and drawing the very life out of him. And a cry went out through all Egypt such as never been heard before or since. Go. Go. Thumping, 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 their heart almost beating out of their chest. How could they leave? They gathered their baskets, the gold and the silver the Egyptians had given them, wrapped the bread in clothing, and the Exodus has begun. Pharaoh soon changes his mind, not wanting to leave his prey, wanting to keep the Hebrew children captive and slaves.
Go!
But God delivered by a pillar of fire and a pillar of cloud, separating the Egyptian army from the Hebrew children. But God made a way. And he spoke to Moses and the Israelites and said, Moses, stretch out your rod, and the waters will depart and separate. he tested the ground, and it was dry. Again, and it was dry. Again. And God made a way for the Israelites to go through the seabed on dry ground. Our God does make a way for us. But God sent a violent east wind, and the winds became angry and violent. And Pharaoh's army, thinking that they too could pass through the seabed, entered into the Reed Sea. But the waves began to dash and to crash, and the waves became violent against horse and rider, against chariot, against steed. And Pharaoh's army drowned in the Red Sea. And the enemy you see today, you shall see no more. They proceeded in confidence. Perhaps they had a glimpse of the promised land. Or could it be a foretaste of glory divine? But on either hand, we are assured that no matter how long endured is oppression or systematic bigotry, that nothing shall overcome the purposes of God. And Lady Miriam, she takes her timbrel, and the people began to dance.